Hello, this is the String Basics Book 3 videos for our string karate beads. Congratulations on getting to Book 3. It is a massive achievement. I know Book 3 will stretch you and I know it will provide lots of challenges, but hopefully it will broaden sort of your knowledge of your instrument as well and different things that you can do with it. So I've got my trusty friend, young Tessie here, and she seems to be taking over the piano stool. So maybe I'll get to sit on the piano stool for this video, but I don't know how many more. We'll see how we go. So our first video is our clear bead, which is exercise 10 on page 5. Now, it's a bit cruel of me to start with this one because this is a really, really difficult one. We are crossing strings, we have slurs, we have different rhythms, and we also need to get our notes in tune. And the difficult thing about this one is it has C naturals. So my advice and my general advice for when you learn a piece of music is, number one, learn the notes, get them in tune, take out everything else that makes it tricky, just learn the notes. So in this case, no slurs, let's just play the notes. After we've done that, then we can make sure we're in time and work on the rhythm, make sure we've got the crotchets as crotchets and the quavers as quavers, and really feel the pulse and keep the beat in our big toe. When we've got that, so we've got the tuning first, the timing second, when we've got that, then we add in the stylistic things, which are things like slurs and dynamics, and whether it's short bows or long bows or hooked bows or whatever it may be to make it a little bit fancy. So number one, let's just play the notes, no slurs. Let's get it in tune. C naturals, so pulling your second finger back on the A string to touch your first finger is super important with this one. Number 10 on page 5. 1, 2, 3. So I did the written neutro at the end, which was to immediately become slower in that last bar. So I'm not sure about you, but in my score, I have written in low second finger and I have actually put an arrow pushing down or pointing down on every C note. So I remember to pull my finger back, okay? Maybe there is a marking that is going to remind you, maybe it's circling the note, maybe it's writing in really big capital letters, C natural, whatever works for you. Now let's try it again and we'll pretend we've got all the tuning right, we've got all the rhythm right, and now we're going to add in the slurs. Now for you to get to this point, it might be playing it every day for a week, 2 weeks, before you get to that point where you feel confident, yeah, I know it well enough now, I can add in the slurs. Every person's going to be different, but it does take quite a while of building up and getting your fingers to get that muscle memory going so that you don't have to think about your notes and you can concentrate on your bowing. You can't have your mind thinking about everything at once. Your mind will just get overwhelmed and confused. So what we do is by practicing it over and over and over, our mind can think less about what fingers to put down and what notes to play and how to read the music. Our mind will have that because we've practiced it. Our mind won't need to give much energy to that anymore. So our mind can think about things like the bowing. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So that's why we practice. We almost become automated like a machine in putting our fingers down and reading the music. And then our mind is free, or our brain is free, to think about other tricky things like the slurs and the bowing. But you can't do it all at once. It's too much for the brain. So we take it slowly, and when we've mastered one thing, one component, then we can move on to working on the next challenging thing. So let's give number 10 a go with the slurs. 1, 2, 3. And that is exercise number 10.